I'm sorry. I'm running. I've got to leave. We had to stop at 7:15. So I
Okay.
wanted to
All right. Well,
apologize.
if you would write your question down, we'll get it to the candidates. You
I'll,
as well.
I'll stay and listen to your question. If
Okay, you can
if
ask
you want
after.
to convey
Do you
it.
have time? Do you want to make a closing statement real quick as you walk out?
Excuse me. Before you leave, Mayor Reed, before you leave.
Okay, let's remember to be respectful of everybody, please.
You was not going to let me ask my question.
Oh, okay.
So I'm asking him before you leave, okay? Before you leave. My name is Bertha. My husband is Robert Darden. We are the last homes, the last house, I put it like that, of the flood victims that you called us in 2013. And you came out in a Winnebago to address the flood victims, to assure us that we would not have to leave our homes, we would not have to move out of our homes, and we would not be displaced. Those are the words that came out of your mouth to me and my husband. 30 years retired citizen of the city of Atlanta. And you told us, point blank, and I said, Mayor Reed, you said we would not have to move out of our home. And I said, I'm going to hold you to that. I said, I'm going to hold you to that. I did just like I'm doing now. I said, I'm going to hold you to that. Mayor Reed, few years later, we get letters saying, we want to buy your house. I said, buy the house? You just told us we didn't have to move out of our house. Tanya Washington house never flooded. But our house, basement flooded. And you said we'll never have to move. And then we get sued. The code inspectors come out trying to find fault to condemn our house, to force us, saying that if this is not done, and that is not done, they're going to charge us $200 a day until it's done, or else within 30 days, you will be evicted under your administration. Now, Mayor, I trusted you. I voted for you when you was mayor. And then for your administration to come in our community to force families out of their homes by using eminent domain. And then come to find out after we went to court, they withheld evidence that we could have used to resolve it, but then sent the documents after the city ruled in favor of taking our home. Took a name off the deeds to our home. And here we are, seniors. Where are we going to live? Where are we going to stay? But you told us we didn't have to move out of our home. You was working on a short-term and long-term plan. That's what you told us. And then your engineers lied. They lied in court. Your engineers lied in court. Because we hired an engineer, 40-year experienced engineer, went through those documents, found the evidence under your administration. So, Kasim Reed, I want to know why you're trying to get back in office again. To lie some more? Because we have heard all the lies we can from you and your administration. And it's not right. And it's not right. And like I told you before, when in this case, it's going to be divine exposure for you. And my question is, what you going to do now?
Even though we had thousands more Black elected officials between 1964 and 1992 in particular, and then this continued even beyond that, we went from about 105 Black elected officials to 8,000 Black elected officials. Did you know that? So what Dr. Anderson did was he went and got some data, and he said, if we got all these extra Black elected officials, all these Negroes in fancy suits, talking about hope and change and getting elected to office and all this stuff, we should be doing better. The Black community should be doing better. So he looked at 4 measures of quality of life. The 4 measures were incarceration rate, poverty rate, annual income, and something else. There was one more. I can't remember what the 4th one was. But in all categories that measured Black quality of life, did y'all know this? Give me a yes or no if you knew this. In all areas that measured Black quality of life, even though we went from about 104 in every single category, the only area we did not fully decline was actually in income. We went from earning 53% of what white people make to earning 59% of what white people make, which still isn't a big increase. In terms of wealth, we actually went down. So what I'm here to ask you, I'm here to just say to you, what are you celebrating? You know, when your favorite Negro gets elected to office, what are you happy about? What are you cheering for? I mean, maybe, but then again, maybe you're cheering for nothingness, right? That's what we do. We like symbolism, right?
That clip pretty much embodies a lot of the nucleus of the conversation, right? And so we want to talk about, okay, if we have all of this Black political presence, right? We have, quote unquote, a lobbying force in Congress, you know, by way of the Congressional Black Caucus. We also have like local Black elected officials. You know, we even have a lot here in like locally and where I live in, you know, PG, DC area, DMV area. Also in Baltimore, we have a lot of Black elected officials. And in that clip, he talks about what has been the substantial impact of that, right? What is the substantial impact of us having Black faces in white places, Black faces in white, you know, seats of power, right? There used to be white seats of power, but now you have a lot of Black people in those seats. What has been the end result of that, right? That started in the 60s, roughly 60s and 70s into now. And like he said, statistically, we have not seen a positive impact. We have not seen a progressive impact. And we want to talk about why is that? And not so much why is it, because we don't just want to talk about, all right, things are messed up, man. We effed up out here. We don't want to just talk about that. We all know that, right? Statistics tell us that every day. What we want to talk about is why is it messed up? And also, what can we do either on a local level or on a federal level to improve that situation? Whether that be replacing people that aren't effective, right? Or whether that be just introducing new strategies, new people, new agendas into the space. And it might equal all of the above, right? But at the end of the day, basically, we can't keep doing what we've been doing because, as we see, the results, you know, the results aren't there. So, you know, it is what it is, right?
So about the media
company, man. So like, that's the long game. That's long term. So we got the podcast, and then we want to highlight stories,
right,
that track with the podcast content, right? Mm-hmm. So like, Black stuff, Black politics, Black life. Right. That's the long game, bro. Let's do it. Motion picture.
I don't feel none of y'all pain. Y'all ain't take none of these risks. I don't feel none of y'all made the decisions I made to be real with this shit. I don't trust none of y'all motives. I know you lacking the code.